Good morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. What's happening, gentlemen?
Whole lot of nothing. That's what that game was last night. A whole lot of nothing.
The game was rough, especially if you're a Miami fan. Although now you don't have to wonder anymore. The season's over. Like they didn't have a big chance anyway, but now it's done.
Well, I think Miami came back down to being Miami, and that inflated Miami.
Yeah, I mean, the first half was uninspiring from either side.
Like, it was
really sloppy football on both sides, and then the Steelers woke up in the second half, and Miami went to sleep. Like it was rough.
So with McDaniel, so he's still not. I'm assuming he's going to keep his job. I don't guess they're going to remove him. But how much longer does he have on his contract? Or did he sign I don't think he signed a new one, did he?
I think he still has 2 more years anyway. But
okay,
I think he's done enough to keep his job.
Right.
For 1 more year, especially because they got rid of the GM, right? So I think with the new GM coming in, they'll probably see what they do. I think that extends McDaniel at least 1 more year.
Let me ask you this. If you were the GM and you were going to come take that job, would you want Mike McDaniel as your head coach? Or would you give him that? Would you want to give him that leeway? Or would you want to go a different direction?
Well, I mean, I think you get to make that call once you're in the building, right? I mean, if you're the GM coming in, I think you get to have some say over that. At the same time, you probably want to see what your relationship between the new GM and him could be. So, I mean, I don't know if you just hastily fire a guy unless that GM has a coach that's ready to leave whatever situation they're in and come over.
Right. So you'd already had to have one on the vine if you were going to take away a coach. I got you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
I get that.
Are you going to go get somebody better? Like, who knows, right?
Yeah.
So, especially with the amount of teams that are going to be looking at coaches.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, one of those we're going to talk about today is the Raiders, right? Like, they got to be in full rebuild mode at this point, being a 2-win team. Are you looking at Pete Carroll at 74 to head up your rebuild? Probably not, right? Especially with as good as the rest of the division is.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I just feel like, this is my personal opinion. I'm just not sold on Mike McDaniel. Sure. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the way he dresses, the way he talks. I don't know. This is something about that guy. I'm not a big fan of.
No, and honestly, going in through the first 8 games of the season, I thought for sure he was getting fired.
Right?
They were a 1-win team, 2-win team, 8 games in. So I thought for sure he was getting fired. I thought he was on the one of the first couple of coaches that would get fired based on the way they started. But now they've started to kind of win some games. Obviously, it doesn't matter now after the loss last night. But I think that extends him into next year. Whether or not that makes him the guy moving forward, no idea.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think truth of the matter is that, like I said, I'm hoping that he does get fired because I would love the Eagles to pick him up as an offensive coordinator, and I think that he would do a fantastic job as that, and we would be really well. Jay had to go get a box.
Right.
Always scheduling his deliveries during the show. I understand.
No, I apologize. I forgot Melanie was home because normally I have my door open because there's nobody here, but I forgot today she's home, and I'm like, oh my God, I can hear her noise. So I had to go close the door real quick.
How did you forget? Like you were telling us just before we went live, she was home.
No, I wasn't thinking about the door. So many things, Bo. I have to change my life around when she comes home. It's weird. But anyway, I apologize for the disruption.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think McDaniel is there. Obviously, I think he would be a great coordinator on a team again. He was exceedingly good at that. But again, I think he's done just enough there. With a new GM, they're probably going to see what's going on. And of course, that just depends on who it is they bring in, right? Because maybe they have a plan for who it is they want to work with, and McDaniel gets fired anyway. So you never know.
Yeah. Has anybody heard any like prognosis on Tyreek Hill? Have they put out any information on him, like how his rehab is going or what how things are going with him?
I've actually seen very
Tyreek Hill. If anybody heard anything about his
on his rehab.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done for the year.
Oh no, I know he's done for the year. Okay, Pags. Is this the way we're gonna start off? No, I'm kidding. No, he went down with that injury. Obviously, to me, it looked like it was accruing an injury, but I haven't heard anything. Like I looked around, I couldn't find any updates on how things were going. So I was just curious if y'all had heard anything or saw anything.
Yeah, I heard that he may be back at the beginning of next year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like,
well, see, and that's the thing is, I think he's done in Miami anyway, because they're not going to want to give him what his guarantee would be if he's there at the beginning of the year, because he's supposed to make some dumb money next year. I forget what the number is offhand, but it was the heaviest of the contract when it comes to the cap hit, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So it would probably make sense for him to not be there anymore.
I could just see him hobbling back over to Patrick Mahomes, who's laid up with that ACL injury. Hey, bro, I shouldn't have left. I still got a little bit of juice left in these knees. Can I get one more shot at this? I can just say.
I don't know. I think they start to tear part of this team down.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was close to 50 mil.
Because they got to be. I mean, the Chiefs have got to be heading towards a rebuild. With Mahomes done, Kelsey looked like he's retiring. I mean,
yeah, well, and especially because Mahomes just had surgery, so he had his ACL and LCL, so he had 2 torn ligaments in that knee, which means earliest he's going to be back is mid-season next year. So not only do they miss the playoffs this year, but they're going to miss it next year. And if there was ever a time that Travis Kelce, makes it easy for him to just hang it up, it's now, because Mahomes isn't going to be there.
Jeez. Yeah, no doubt, man. Because Travis is what, 37 or 35?
Doesn't matter. As slow as he looks, he could be 20.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any difference. Like,
I think he's 37. But yeah, I mean, I guess my point was he's not a young kid. I mean, he's old. By NFL standards, he's old.
Yeah, well, and the biggest thing, he's 83, exactly. No, I mean, again, at the end of the day, if he was still moving like he was a couple of years ago, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But he's looked so slow that it should be time.
Yeah, I think Taylor just keeps him out partying too much. He can't keep up with that young lady. He's too old for that mess.
Oh, okay, so he's 36.
Is he 36? Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he might have been on the fence about coming back one more year. But with Mahomes going to miss most of next year and as much better as the rest of the division, well, as 2 of the teams in the division are, we're not gonna put the Raiders in that conversation. But it doesn't make sense for him to come back to play with, Gardner Minshew maybe. So I think this is where the Chiefs get that reprieve where they can kind of rebuild some pieces without the fan base going nuts because Mahomes is
right. Yeah, I'm wondering, like, because I know Parsons had that same ACL injury. I'm wondering, from the looks of it, it looked like it was a grade 3 from the way they were reacting to it. And the way they were talking about it, it seems like the man had a grade 3, which if that's the case, Parsons won't be back for a year and a half, depending on how the rehab goes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's got to be almost the same for Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean, tearing both of the ligaments, I don't know how much of it got tore, but it seems like that would be like a year, definitely a full year to year and a half recovery.
No. So ACLs, LCLs, PCLs, they tend to be like 9 to 12 months now. I mean, they used to, like, if you remember back in the 80s, it was almost a career ender. So, I mean,
Right.
The rehab on it is definitely significantly better. But yeah, I mean, Parsons, he looked like he was in rough shape, but at the same time, ACLs, they 9 to 12 months, right? So in theory, could be back for the
Playoffs.
Well, no, he could
Or
be
no,
back
maybe
for
mid-season, I
mid-season.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he could be back mid-season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's a fast healer. I know some people are fast healers. Like I know Terrell Owens was a fast healer. Like that, when that guy would get hurt, he would come back sooner than they would expect him. So maybe he'll have some of that fast healing in him, or he go down to Costa Rica or something and get some of them stem cells or whatever to speed up that process.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Oops, wrong.
Or find out the doctor that Aaron Rodgers went to when he came back so quickly from that Achilles.
Yeah, well, he didn't look good, so coming back early isn't always the best scenario.
No, it's not.
So, Donna, it's funny that there's been so much talk about Andy Reid potentially leaving, and that's not new for this year. That's been the last couple of years.
Right.
He hasn't.
He's not leaving.
He wants to leave.
He's not leaving.
Like,
and the reason why is he's actually he's actually a little more vain than you would think, and he wants to get the all-time record.
Yeah. Well, he's got a few years left to do that then.
Yeah. So it's like he's going to continue to do this, which means that he's going to be like 4 more years.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to take about 2 to 3 years for them to get back on the winning ways, especially with Mahomes being out most of the next season. Actually, I bet you Mahomes is like ready to go for game 1. I really think that it's an early timetable for that, and you're going to see like this is where these nanobots come into play and stuff like that. The tinfoil hat gets put on, and how medicine is so much better than it really, really is. And you're going to see him be back much, much, much sooner.
Okay.
Man,
I think. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I'm not a doctor.
Could you, if he came back that soon? I mean, to have that kind of medicine and that kind of money to spend for that kind of medicine, that's got to be some major dollars going towards that type of thing. Like, I can't even imagine how much that type of surgery or that type of treatment would cost.
Well,
not that he can't. He can afford it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the money really the issue?
No. I was just saying more from my perspective, like the normal person's perspective. Like, I wonder how much that is because I could just only imagine.
Yeah, my thought is that like you're gonna you do the surgery and then you go immediately into like the cold cryogenic freeze type stuff, and then you throw in the stem cells and then you go back in the freeze, and like there's like lots of things that could be done in a realistic way that we haven't really tested the boundary on because we just ain't got that type of money.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
So,
and most of our insurance companies wouldn't fund it anyway.
When it's the all-time win record, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm gonna jump on a variance here, very quickly. Something that Jay probably doesn't know anything about. And I know that, Bo, you know nothing about because you guys don't have a team, which really surprises me. But the Women's Football Association announced their 2026 schedule last night. And the Philadelphia Phantoms are back in. The Houston Energy also have a team. And there are 2 teams in Oregon but not a team in Seattle, which really surprises me since Seattle is like a hub for women's sports.
What it means is there just probably wasn't
A place to
stadium
play.
availability.
Yeah, because they got two teams in Oregon. One is in Portland, and the other one is called Capital City, which plays out of Salem.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I would bet it was just a stadium availability issue.
so
I'm
and
gonna tell you right now,
Houston,
and that's interesting because nobody talks about women's football here. I didn't even know we had a women's football team. Be honest with you, because we
So
don't.
we
This is-
do,
Nobody.
we do, just not at pro level.
pro level.
yeah, this is a professional women's football league that actually puts on full pads. This isn't the lingerie league.
Right.
You know what I mean? They put on full pads and they actually play. And the Philadelphia Phantoms had a team a couple years ago, and they folded due to I I don't know the story, so I'm not going to even talk. But they folded for whatever reason that had to do with the league. The league has been bought and changed hands, and they are now back in. Pennsylvania has got three teams: the Philadelphia Phantoms, the Harrisburg, whoever they are, and then the Pittsburgh Marauders. I think is who they are too. Um, Interestingly enough, there's two teams called the Cougars. One's in Cincinnati, and the other
That
one
is
is
awesome.
somewhere else.
It's
Um,
awesome.
But
That
it's
is awesome.
we can make as much fun as we want about the names. It's of course they are female centric names. But
Yeah.
it is a female, a professional female football league. And Houston, like I said, the Houston Energy does have a team, so I
like that.
suspect that they may want some people to try to cover that, Jay. So
Yeah, I'm gonna look
maybe
into
you could
that.
tie your beard into a like a bow tie and
I can do. Hey, I can do whatever.
Cover.
If they give some credentials, I'll tie my bow into whatever they want. I don't care. But I like the name Energy. That's actually pretty cool. I think that definitely represents Houston because Houston is all about the oil and natural gas industry and electricity. So I like the name. That's pretty cool. I just got to find out what stadium they're playing at.
So it's probably a high school stadium.
Okay.
It's likely a high school stadium. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay,
You can go up to if you put in Google WFA, you can find out all the information.
Yeah.
Like I said, they had the schedule release yesterday. And the good thing about the league is what they did smart this year is that they have a bunch of teams located centrally, and you're going to be playing those teams a lot. I think you're going to have one, or you're going to have a couple of out of conference or out of division games, but you're staying fairly local. So Philadelphia is not going to Oregon. They're not.
You're not gonna.
They're not doing that type of travel.
I just Google where Houston Energy play at, and they're playing in a city that my brother-in-law's grandfather was the mayor of, Galena Park. So I mean, this is like right next door to my hometown. I mean, like, oh, I definitely will go be checking them out because I know exactly where they're playing at. And you're right, it's a high school football stadium. Yeah.
Yes, because obviously they're going to try to get some people to show up to these games and such. Most of the time, I know that when the Phantoms were doing it initially, it was the friends and family of the players that show up to these games.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to try to get to some of these games myself. I want to make sure that I can get there. I'm going to represent. I don't know that I'll wear the shoulder pads. You know what I mean? I don't know that I'm going to go that crazy.
Not going to go nuts. I got you.
Yeah, but I will definitely don the jersey, and their colors are black and purple. So I got to be careful, how I do that, but.
The closest we have, we do have a full tackle football team here. So I would be curious to see if this league is successful, if it turns into our team. Like
it could.
Were to elevate into something. So it's the Seattle Majestics here. I actually thought about covering them this year. I just didn't have the time for it. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, and I was surprised that when I didn't see Seattle, I was fairly surprised. It also made me think that Seattle may just be too far away from Portland, and that the travel is too expensive going in and out of Seattle, because I know you guys like to surcharge everything up there, so that it's
so
ridiculous.
from Seattle to Portland is a 2.5-hour drive, so that would not be an issue.
All right, how about Salem?
Salem's about 5 hours, so like that's got a little bit of time to it, but still, I mean, that's if you're like driving. So
Right. Well, and I don't know what other teams. I know that Sacramento is a team, so Sacramento to Seattle now, if you're driving, might be a
no,
little
but
bit
that's
more of a
2.5-hour
drive.
flight. That's a 2.5-hour flight, so that's not that wouldn't be crazy. Anything on the West Coast actually wouldn't be that bad, because like you wouldn't drive that because it would be cheaper to fly at that point, just because gas prices on the West Coast are stupid.
Yeah.
Where is Dement Field, Donna?
Okay, now I can tell you where Dement Field is. Dement Field is where my high school played football at.
Oh,
It's in
that's where
Galena
you
Park.
play. That's in
Yeah.
Houston. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought she was talking about where they're playing in Philly. I know that they were playing up in the Northeast last year or 2 years ago, which made it a little bit tough for me to get up there. It was in a, you know, it was an urban area. Is a good way I can explain that and stuff. And so it made it really kind of tough for me to get there. And the moment I was ready to go, they folded. So I definitely want to make sure to go support them. And I think their first game of the season is right at the draft. So I won't be able to make game one, but I will be able to make some of the other games,
Nice. And how long is their season?
It goes from I have the schedule right in front of me, so
Well, I
it
just mean how many
starts
games.
April 25th to where are we at? June 13th. So however many weekends are in between that. I think that's about
So
12.
they're going to be directly taking on arena football.
Wow.
Yeah, probably.
And the UFL. That's going to be tough.
I'm about to say that it's going to be real tough.
Yeah, because I mean, they're going to be going up against Arena, the UFL, and then of course you have rugby and the WNBA all starting right then too. So like that's going to be for a first-year startup league. Viewership's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Unless they have an awesome marketing team and they ended up with a TV contract that, is something.
They do have like a minor contract.
Okay.
That it's I was trying to figure that out. It said like it was not NIL, but it was like NAL. It's odd. It was just odd. I never heard of it before, but it was televised games. The games of the week will be televised on whatever AWSN. Oh, that's that women's network.
Okay.
American Women's Sports Network.
I gotcha. All right. Well, I hope it works.
You know what? So the league has been in existence for a while. So I don't know that it's something that will, and they do it similar to soccer. Where it's like they bring up Division 3, Division 2, and then Division 1.
Okay.
That's interesting.
And you raise or fall depending on how you do in the league. I think top two go up, top two go down.
Or elevated. Got it.
Right.
Got it.
How many games is there? How many games is there a league for?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like 8 in the regular season,
Okay.
and then 2 playoff games.
Okay.
You know, championship.
Okay.
So it's, yeah, I want to say about it's probably a 10 game schedule.
Okay. That definitely makes me think that if this thing starts to take off, that our team would probably join that league. If there's different tiers to it, that would actually make some sense. Because then new expansion teams would probably jump in at the bottom or middle tier and play a season or something to see if you elevate to that upper echelon.
So it looks,
Right.
yeah, the 25 season is already over with. Yeah, you're right. So it's only a summer. It's only for the summertime. It looks like.
There's not
Or
a
I
lot
guess.
of football. There's not a lot of football that tries to take on the NFL directly
Right. Right.
because you're just not going to win that.
Yeah, it's literally like 2 months. It's like this was started May 3rd and ended like June 14th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. Yeah,
Donna,
it's a short window.
I did see your question earlier. Honestly, if they did, because there's no rules that explicitly say women can't play in the NFL. If they did, though, it would probably be like a kicker. In fact, here in Seattle, our arena team, the Washington Wolfpack, had a female kicker. So, I mean, it would probably be something like that. And the only reason I say that is I don't know that most women would be able to take the punishment of the rest of the play from NFL caliber players. So not to say that they don't have the skill set. Honestly, I think it would just be a size issue.
I mean, could you imagine a linebacker or whatever going after the kicker and hits the kicker by accident? I'll probably by accident, but I mean, they could do some serious damage. I mean, do damage to anybody, but.
So it's kind of interesting. They do have 39 teams in this league.
Yeah.
It's all middle heavy. So there's 11 that are considered the pro.
Okay.
25 that are considered Division 2, and only 3 that are considered Division 3. They're probably brand new teams, so they probably have them kind of facing off against each other more frequently, just to get them acclimated to the league. But it's like they have the Carolina Phoenix, the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards, the River City Grizzlies.
Okay.
Atlanta Rage, the Baltimore Nighthawks, the Birmingham Iron, the Buffalo Blizzard, the East Tennessee Valkyrie, the Harrisburg Havoc, Jacksonville Dixie Blues, the Palm Beach Coyotes, Philadelphia Phantoms, the Richmond Black Widows, the Tri-State Warriors, the Virginia Panthers, the Austin Outlaws, the Capitol Pioneers, the Columbus Chaos, the Dallas Elite Mustangs, the Derby City Dynamite, the Indiana Valor, the Lansing Legacy, the Michigan Mercenaries, the Music City Misfits, the OKC Lady Force, the Oregon Cougars, the Rocky Mountain Thundercats, and the Zydeco Spice.
Zydeco Spice. That just sounds like a cool team.
And guys, then, we might get to baseball. I'm not going to jump topics all over the place. So,
yeah, we'll talk about baseball in a little bit. But to finish it off in the pro section is the Cincinnati Cougars, the Pittsburgh Passion, the DC Divas, the Tampa Bay Inferno, the Salt Lake Wildcats, the St. Louis Slam, the Cali War, the Minnesota Vixen, the Mile High Blaze, the Houston Energy, and the Nevada Storm. You know what I love about that whole thing? I just read you 11 names. There's only 2 names that end in S. Or 3 names, the Divas. So 3 names that end in S. I love it when a team name doesn't end in S. You know what I mean? Like when they can call themselves something, and I like the name, the Pittsburgh Passion. But so
So
for all you Pittsburgh people out there, Pittsburgh Passion, go follow them.
the sticking with Jay's team here. You got Diggs kind of upset with Jerry.
The special requirements that I need to show that I can play. I've been in practice. I've been practicing well. Been running around doing what I'm supposed to. So, it's not my decision at the end of the day.
Diggs isn't healthy enough to be out there for us.
What'd you say?
Period. Okay. Did anybody else? Did everybody hear that? The city's not healthy enough for us to put him out there.
Yesterday, I was upset.
So they seem to be on a different page here. Jerry said you're not healthy enough for us, and Diggs doesn't know how healthy he needs to be.
More healthy than he is.
Yeah, apparently. So, that was a defense that probably could have used him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we definitely could have used him. My thing is, I wonder if he, what the Cowboys are planning on doing with him. I mean, are they getting him healthy enough to put him out to the trade, or is he really that hurt?
Well, it doesn't sound like he thinks he's that hurt. So it sounds like
he's in his own body. He knows whether he could, how his body feels more than Jerry would. Especially
if he's out there practicing, running around, doing all of the reps with the defense. Yeah. So just interesting. You got a defense that already isn't good in Dallas, and then you're not going to start one of your main guys. Now, don't get me wrong. Diggs isn't.
Does he know that we can still hear him blow his neck?
Right. Sorry.
You turned off the camera, but not the sound. For those of you listening, he went to go take a dump. No, it's. I just find it interesting. Now, obviously, he isn't the same player that he had been over the last couple of years, right? Where because he's out of position in coverage a fair amount, but he's had the ability to break on some balls and get interceptions and stuff, something that hasn't happened, this year and really the last half of last year. So you're still seeing the part of his game where he gets exposed on routes. He just hasn't had the payoff of, being able to break on a ball and get turnovers and stuff. So I wonder if that is part of it as well. If they're like, look, you're not getting any of the upside and we're getting you getting torched on film. So you're hurt.
You're hurt until we can find a home for you.
Yeah, right. I mean, that may, honestly, that may be a thing.
Because I'm thinking, like, if he goes out there and gets hurt again, if they put him on the field, he gets hurt again. If they're not planning on moving on from him and he gets hurt again, then they're going to be responsible for all the medical stuff that goes on with him. So it does kind of make sense. If you're planning on moving, I keep him out too, because that way I can just shop him. Hey, he's fully healthy. He's good to go. Here's what he can do. Please, what can I get in return?
Yeah, and that may be some of it, right? They're just like, hey, you know what? We don't want any more bad film on this guy. We can blame the last little bit on an injury. And, maybe we try and move off him. That wouldn't surprise me, honestly. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, that's possible. But, you never know with Jerry. He may just sign him for another 6 years. This is just a ploy.
And then never play him. Speaking of a guy that was asked whether or not he was going to continue playing, we got Shedeur getting asked if he thought his job was in jeopardy after that awesome game he had.
You know what league we in? Yeah, you can lose your job at any point in time. So you don't play with fear. When you live and play in fear, then you'll never be yourself. So I don't play or live in fear. Whatever situation I'm in. Whatever happens, it happens, But I live each moment and try to live each day to the fullest. So never live in worry or fear.
That sounds
I
like
mean,
Dad.
Yeah, that does very much sound like your dad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I really thought he was in any danger of losing his job, right? Like I think I think Stefanski has enough pressure to let him play no matter what, that it doesn't really matter how bad he plays, right? I mean, he threw 3 picks, did not look good. I think he had a 30 quarterback rating, which is awesome. Because I think a 37 is if you just throw it in the dirt the whole day. So
That's true. That's true.
So,
Listen,
yeah,
and
I
how
mean-
much is it Stefanski, deliberately? Maybe like he's got to see the writing on the wall.
oh, he's getting fired.
Yeah. So if the writing is on the wall like that, and he is going and playing like just having to play him anyways, and he's not a big fan, maybe he's just calling plays that he knows are going to fail.
It's entirely possible. I mean, you can tell that there is just organizationally, it's such a mess, right? Like I've never seen a scenario where they've had a quarterback have the wrong play call card in his thing, right? In his wristband, which incidentally is what happened. Now, obviously both of them were like, oh yeah, that's not what happened. Like the card fell out. First off, unless the thing rips apart, the card can't fall out of a wristband. So, and then Stefanski was like, oh, something got on it. What the hell's gonna get on it? Right? You're on a football field. It's not like you're out there eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something. Like, what are we talking about right now? So basically, they had the wrong card in there, so they were probably getting the wrong play calls. But what's wild about that is if you've ever played, all of those plays that are going to be on that card are in there for Saturday's walkthroughs.
Right.
So there's no reason that you should have the wrong card in your wristband.
Because you'd already been looking at it Saturday. The thing would already be in your thing on Saturday. So
Yeah,
yeah, if it was the wrong card, you would have found out.
You have all your walkthrough Saturday. You have your
Yeah.
walkthrough Sunday before the game.
He's
You
just
find
making
out-
excuses on
You
that
find
one.
out 4 series or 3 series into the game. They're like, oh, no wonder this doesn't make any sense what you're calling and what I'm calling, because we have last week's wristband or something. It's very weird. And I mean, this is supposed to be a professional organization, and you can't even get that together. It's very bizarre. So do I think some of it is he's kind of set up to fail? Sure. Do I think it's personal about Shedeur? Honestly, I don't. I think this is just the Browns are such a dysfunctional organization. It doesn't matter who's out there.
I mean, you take 2 bites of the apple in the draft for quarterback, and you can't get it right. I mean, what are we doing? What are you doing? You get 2 bites at it. Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, and Moose, I wouldn't call it the dog ate my homework. They legitimately gave him a different wristband. So it makes me think that they just gave him one that was loaded with the wrong week's plays. And that's just that's on the coaches. Like that's not on a player. That's on the coaches. Because the coaches are who give you those wristbands. They're like, okay, this is this week's, this is what we walked through. So like, who knows what happened between pre-game and during the game, but ended up with miscommunication, which ultimately didn't matter because the play of the Browns was horrendous.
Yeah.
One of those picks, now he had 3 of them in that game, but one of them, I mean, it looked like the defender was his receiver. So it was pretty amazing. Yeah, exactly. That's on the coaches. So,
Oh, yeah.
another player that is going to get shut down for the season, Jaden Daniels. So he is done.
That's official.
Yeah, that is official. He is done for the year. So
Okay.
you guys should be able to cruise through that team.
Well, it's Marcus Mariota. He was an Eagle for a minute, so we know what he's got going on. But that also kind of makes me understand a little bit more because I am in my semifinals on fantasy football, and I'm going up against the number 1 team in the league.
Okay.
And I happen to have McLaurin as a starter,
Okay.
and I do not trust that going up against the Eagles secondary with without Daniels playing.
Yeah, I was in that same
I wouldn't start him.
situation. Yeah. Well, he should be okay with Mariota because Mariota seems to get him the ball though, doesn't he? I mean, I ain't seen any
Well,
issues with Mariota
so
getting him the
now you
ball.
don't have Ertz as the backup guy.
Right.
I would think that he's like really the only option. The problem is that he's going to have the best tandem of
Exactly.
cornerbacks against him, and
Yeah.
it's as much as great as he is also part of the reason that like I just know how good our cornerbacks are. So I don't, I would not be surprised if the Eagles try to do everything they can to be the first team in a really, really, really long time to shut out 2 offenses back to back.
Well, it's really tough to beat bracket coverage, right? Like if you got a receiver that's being double teamed, they're daring the rest of your roster to beat them, right? Or when it was Calvin Johnson, sometimes he'd have 3 defenders on him, right? But so they're just like, yeah, cool. You're not throwing to this guy. You can throw to everybody else, but you're not going to throw to this guy. And I think they're going to essentially treat McLaurin that way. So like if you have Scary Terry on your fantasy team, this is not the week.
Well, and Pittman is Michael Pittman is kind of in the same situation with Indy because now they have Phillip Rivers throwing the ball versus Daniel Jones, and I'm kind of like, do I play Pittman? Do I not play Pittman? I just don't. That whole situation still makes me kind of nervous because I'm in the playoffs too, and
I would actually trust that one more than McLaurin. And the only reason I say that is the Niners don't have a pass rush. And if you give Phillip Rivers time, he's still an accurate passer. Right. And since they don't have Bosa or Warner, their pass rush is among the bottom of the league after those guys got hurt. Now their secondary is very good, but you can only cover a guy so long, right? So if nobody's getting home to beat up Rivers, that's where that becomes an issue.
Yeah, it does. I mean, because my 2 options are either I got DK Metcalf against Detroit, or I got Pittman against I forget what they're playing. Oh yeah, San Francisco. You're right. So
I would actually take Metcalf.
Yeah, that's what I'm rolling with Metcalf.
The fact that I know that none of the people that are in my league watch this show.
Okay.
Michael Evans is available as a free agent.
He's
going up against Carolina. And Michael Evans, so he just got back. He actually had a good day against Atlanta, even in the loss.
Yeah.
But against Carolina, he typically scores somewhere in the neighborhood of 20-something points in fantasy.
Yeah, why wouldn't you grab him? I'd grab him.
I am going to grab him.
You should grab him. I think you should absolutely grab him.
Well, it's good thing you watch the show then.
Oh, especially since we're getting ready to go into the waiver wire. Waiver wire ends on Wednesday. I don't know if it does for me anyway. I don't know if it does for you, Pags. I don't know when your waiver wire is. But...
So Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't. Is he even a free agent? I mean, he shouldn't be on the waiver. He should be able to pick him up easily because he wouldn't have to. You should have to go through that waiver process. I don't think with him.
Yeah, they still make you force you to do it so that everybody falls into the waiver wire. Now, there's really only 4 teams playing, so there's one team who's ahead of me in the waiver wire, and it's possible that he may try to pick him up. But he's kind of loaded in wide receivers. He needs a running back. So I am hoping that he tries to maybe choose the best running back in comparison or whatever. Normally, I don't even try to use the waiver wire, but this time I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah. So he might, if he's looking down a receiver, you're saying he might try to get Mike Evans, put him in that flex position. If he was going down with wide receivers, where else?
So we have 2 flex positions, but you're only allowed to use 3 of any one.
Oh, really?
So, like for
Oh.
instance, you have 2 wide receivers. You can put a 3rd wide receiver in the flex, but you can't have 4 wide receivers in your flex.
Oh, so you got to have a tight end or a running back.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, and I tell you, because running backs are so scarce, I've been using tight ends.
Sure.
Which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. In a lot of cases, both my flex positions this past week, blue chunks. You know what I mean?
That'll happen.
Yeah. I've been so check this. So I played Reichert, my kicker. Now this is just a kicker, but it's kind of weird. So I played Reichert last week, and he got 0 points.
See, you needed Seattle's kicker in your flex, and
yes,
you would have killed it.
I'd have been. But I've been striking out with kickers. I got 0 points with Reichert, so I said, okay, let me get. I'm gonna go with McPherson with the Bengals. So I know he should definitely get some field goal opportunities. No, he didn't get shit. 0. So I got double back-to-back zeros. I'm like, I can't select a damn kicker to save my life.
That offense did nothing.
Nothing. 0. Yeah, it was depressing to watch that game.
That's an organization that's going to be interesting moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does Burrow just force the issue to get out of there?
If I was him, I'd try to get the hell out of there.
I mean, Carson Palmer, right? He's like, look, I'm retiring or you're getting rid of me, right? And then they get rid of him, and he played for another, 8 years or something. So,
I think you put Burrow on an organization that's a good organization, a good,
give him an offensive line.
Just give him something, right? I mean, because anything he's better than what he's at right now.
Well, here's his offensive line since he's got in. See if I can remember this. So they were 27th, 29th, 32nd, 30th, and then 27th again, right?
Yeah.
That's insanely bad. So for them to continue and it's also why he gets hurt every other year, right? Is because he has one of the worst offensive lines. Yeah. So you pair that with no defense. I mean, I have no doubt he's not having fun. He can put up 35 points getting hammered constantly, and your defense can never get a stop. I wouldn't be having fun either.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I mean, could you imagine what he could do if he was like at Indianapolis right now playing with the Colts? I mean, he'd probably be tearing it up with that type of team.
Just give him an adequate line. It doesn't even have to be awesome.
Yeah. Just
give him like a middle of the pack, 16th.
Yeah.
He would probably be ecstatic about it.
Man, hey, look, what about him going to New Orleans? Kellen Moore's down there. I mean,
yeah, but we're talking about a good offensive line.
Well, yeah, but I haven't. But though I do believe that New Orleans will get that offensive line straightened out. I mean, I think they're working on that. I think they'll get that straightened out.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to work on it because they need.
Well, yeah, for sure,
an entire team. But if you're talking about where he could leave this one and go somewhere that needs a quarterback that could function how they are, what if the Vikings were like, hey, we'll give you 3 number ones for him? Because I bet he would absolutely tear it up on that team.
Him and Justin Jefferson with Addison, yeah.
Solid offensive line.
He's got a great tight ends in Hawkinson and I forget that other kid's name, but they got like 2 really good tight ends over there. So I mean, he has a good security blanket as well. And Aaron Jones is a pretty decent running back. So.
Yeah, I was going to say they have a running game. They have a solid offensive line. It's not amazing, but it's a solid offensive line. They got a good defense. Tough division, obviously, but I mean, there's no tougher division than one that you can't stop anybody. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
A team like the Vikings, they're set up to win now. As far as their roster construction. So if they could find a way to do it, that would probably be interesting.
Either they'd want, I mean, hey, you can even and then you could throw either if you don't throw McCarthy in on the deal, then you could just have McCarthy as your backup and then just have Burrow as your starter. And that's a pretty solid. That'd be a pretty because if you give him 3 first, that would be pretty solid on both sides.
It'd be a good team. It'd be a good team. I don't think they do it. Like, let's not get crazy here. Like, I don't think that happens. But that's one where he could just like step into another team, and that would instantly be a contender.
I could definitely see him wanting to trade or not signing when this contract is up if they don't make changes over there. Which they're not.
We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, because then they can play franchise tag and franchise tag. So it's like that's. The NFL still does have the best way to keep a free agent if they want to, and they want to, bust balls. I think it's got to be a mutual thing. They're going to have to come to a mutual decision. And it being Ohio, like I said, this is where he's from. I wouldn't be surprised that they give it to him, but I can't say for certain. Obviously, I don't know that enough about the Bengals franchise themselves. They are only 4 years off of being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I mean that Super Bowl year, their offensive line was a little bit better, not much, right? Than it is today, because it was still a bottom 5 offensive line. But they definitely had a better defense then, which they have no semblance of defense today. So I don't care how good you are. If you are getting your quarterback murdered constantly and you don't play defense, I mean, again, last year, right? Like if they're a 12-win team, he's the MVP going away. But instead, they missed the playoffs. And you get a Triple Crown winning receiver and they can't do anything with that. So, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
And then also Hendrickson will be up for contract because he only signed that 1 year. So what are they going to do with him?
He's a free agent.
That's right. He will be a free agent. It won't even matter.
Yeah, he will not be back. Even if they were to give him the same money as someone else, the way they treated him this last
he ain't coming back.
And then giving him this 1 year deal of, I guess we'll keep you around. He may actually take a discount to just not be on this team. So they handled that as poorly as you could.
Yeah, they sure did. So they're in the defense that's already bad. It's going to get even worse when he's not there.
Yeah, he's like the one good piece of the defense.
The one good piece. They're going to be busy in the draft. I don't even know how many picks they have, but
they better have all of them.
Yeah, I understand, right? Because they're going to have a lot of work to do on that team. And I think the way that cap is, they're not. It's not like they're just going to go on, and get to top name free agents with the way the cap is. They're going to have to build through the draft to make it work economically. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it has to be the draft. I don't know. That organization's a mess. I would be firing that GM.
I mean,
all you've done is put that team in a worse and worse spot every year.
Yeah. Because I don't think the coach is the issue. I think Taylor's a good coach. I think it's just, like you said, I think it's the GM and the way that they're doing their deals.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately Taylor gets fired at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not really going to be on him.
Right.
Like you can coach your guys as much as you want, but if you have nobody on defense, you have a consistently horrible offensive line, like there's only so much winning you can do. Now, winning is absolutely a coaching stat, right? So you're tethered to the wins and losses no matter what.
By the way, real quick, public service announcement. If you're waiting for baseball, that's not going to happen today. But we'll be talking baseball tomorrow. So we're just going to finish on our discussion. I just want to put that little preamble out there.
Oh, yeah.
We did tell them we were going to talk baseball, and we never talked baseball. But
I just said I wasn't going to do it in the middle of talking football. Like I'm not going to just bounce around.
No, I know. I just want you to think that he lied to us. Oh, lie.
I absolutely did because Monday Night Football happened and like there's football news, and baseball doesn't start for months, so those stories have plenty of time to marinate.
I was about to say they're not going anywhere.
So I have, I'm going back a little bit to the fantasy because I got caught in my fantasy world over here as I'm getting everything together, and I have been choosing defenses playing the Jets as a thing. Like, hey, if you're defense and you're playing the Jets, it's likely you're going to score a lot of points. So who plays the Jets this week? The Saints. Do I choose the Saints defense? They are rated pretty high and higher than my current defense, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who are the Jags playing?
Denver.
Yeesh. I would actually take the Saints.
I think the Saints. So the Saints are playing the Jets. I think.
So here's the other one.
So you're playing Saints against the Jets. The Jets just put up 20 some odd points on Jacksonville. You don't think they'll put up the least on the Saints?
But also Jacksonville still got 11 defensive points against them, even with them putting up those points. So here's the other. The Bills are taking on Cleveland. And they are ranked a little bit higher than the Saints defense.
Oh, you have the Bills defense?
I don't. I can get them.
I would go Bills. I would go Bills Cleveland before I'm with.
Have you noticed that the Bills defense has been giving up a lot of points?
Did you notice that Shedeur Sanders just had 3 interceptions?
That's the thing. Is Shedeur has a tendency to throw to the wrong team.
Yeah, he does.
Still, out of those, the Saints probably have the best chance to give up the least amount of points. I just don't know that they're going to necessarily put up any points as far as takeaways.
Well, you're going up against the Jets quarterback who is
awesome.
He's Brady Cook. He's got a 44.3 quarterback rating. He has thrown 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions, 36 for 63 for 339 yards. Their running back does not fumble the ball very much. The Jets running back. So Breece Hall is actually good. He's only had 2 fumbles for the season.
Yeah, I don't know. I might, as weird as this is to say, I might actually stick with the Saints there. The Bills defense has not been good all year, right? Like they win games because Josh Allen is Superman. But the Browns also just don't throw to their team a ton. But at the same time, the Jets can't move the ball particularly well. So
I mean, let's be honest. Probably the most productive receiver on that Cleveland Browns team is Fannin Jr., the tight end.
Yeah,
I mean, that just tells you where Jerry Jeudy is. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, they didn't throw hardly any at all to his way. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I might actually just take the Saints there, which is such a weird thing to say, as bad as they've been. But I mean, your defense can perform without your team winning. So.
Right. And you got 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions from Shedeur. So he's a slinger.
Yes.
He did just throw 3. He is going up against a better team.
Well, so this is the thing
they only scored 3 points last week.
This is the thing with Shedeur. His two good days are against terrible teams. His 2 bad games are against playoff caliber teams. Right? The same Jacksonville, right? It's playing them. Or
the
Saints.
Saints are playing the Jets.
Saints. Sorry. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
That
might be a coin flip. They both play at 1:00 on Sunday. I know I'm not going to have Jacksonville, so I'm going to have one of those 2 teams. Actually, the defense that's rated above them, which is a surprise to me, is the New York Giants playing the Vikings.
That is
Now-
surprising.
Now, McCarthy's got 11 interceptions, and I'm sure that's probably the part of the reason. But Aaron Jones don't fumble the ball.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of that. It's all McCarthy with the interceptions.
Hmm.
I don't know. But that's our fantasy for today.
And that does get us to the top of the show. If you stuck around for baseball, better luck tomorrow. That being said, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. We will see you on Wednesday. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.